are some of the consequences of farming? Why is there such controversy surrounding this topic and quality of Lake Okeechobee water? Farmers use fertilizer, which are rich in phosphorus and nitrogen, to promote the growth of their crops. Although these two elements are found in nature and do promote plant growth and are crucial to the success of a farmer, as many of us know, anything good in excess can be bad. These elements create a thriving environment for algae. As algae die and decomposes, the process consumes a lot of oxygen. Submerged plants without sunlight die, decompose, and consume more oxygen. Without enough dissolved oxygen in the water, fish can die. This process of cultural eutrophication affects the biodiversity of our lakes tremendously. With the goal of this project, I went and interviewed two people whose opinion I highly respect and value in order to obtain more information. What kind of best management practices does R.C. Hatton practice to contribute to the initiative of phosphorus reduction in the Everglades agricultural area?
We are audited every year and have to meet desired clean water requirements by the EPA.
What kind of fertilizers are used on your crops in terms of complex fertilizer, bulk blend, or single nutrient? Which of these do you believe to be the most environmentally and or cost effective?
We use all three, and they all three have pros and cons, but we use a lot of time-release fertilizers, which they're a very efficient fertilizer, and the fact that they minimize phosphorus runoff and leaching, and sometimes the longevity of that fertilizer allows you to not apply as much fertilizer on the following crop. So one of the initiatives that we have taken this year is we're using drones to create maps of our fields to find out where the weak areas are in our land, and we use variable rate fertilizer applicators so that areas that don't need fertilizer are not over applied, and areas that really need the fertilizer get the adequate amount so there's no waste.
Are there any policies, regulations, initiatives, or scientific or technological advancements that you believe could be made in the agricultural community to achieve or improve sustainable farming?
I think that there's always ways to improve what you're doing to make it better and to make the process more sustainable. I think that the industry, however, is always looking for those examples, because no farmer wants to pump any more water than they have to. They don't want to spray any more chemical than they need to. They want to get as much yield off as minimal amount of work as possible. I think that with the pressure that the environmental community is putting on the sugar industry with respect to burning the cane, to having this initial process of the harvest, I think that you're going to see some technology or some satellite industries that are going to look at this and say, can we take the fodder pre-burn in a field, take it out of that with the blowers and whatnot that are on the harvesters, and use that as a commodity in any way, shape, or form? Yeah, and I think that's something that we'll see in our area. Fire's visual, right? Mm-hmm. So people see that flame and they go, oh my God, this is so destructive. No one looks at it on the adverse and says, well, what is your carbon footprint if you have to cut all of that cane green, put it in more trucks, more trailers, touch more, grind more? Nobody has done that analysis. But
there's been a phosphorus reduction of 50% rather than 25%.
Yeah.
And you think they could reduce it even more? I think they've done a great job.
I think they've done an amazing job of reducing the phosphorus load. The science supports. I mean, it's not biased by any way, shape, or form. The Audubon has its own reports. The settlement, the legacy phosphorus that is dealing with within the lake, that's just from years of having been grown there, and then going into the fields, and then leaving the water leaving the fields at the monitoring stations. It's clearly less in the phosphorus load. To me, that's a direct correlation to what the farmers are doing. They've implemented different methods of fertilizer dispersal, different times of fertilizer, different ways that they're doing things now that are a direct correlation of BMPs being implemented. I don't understand why people do not have the capacity to just grasp like that one of the things that makes you a world power is your ability to feed yourself, and feed yourself for year after year after year, regardless of what Mother Nature throws at you. Are you sustainable to support your population?
My goal for this project was truly, to the best of my ability, educate myself about something that I care about and something that I hear a lot of controversy over, and I didn't feel like I was informed well enough to have an opinion. And so I went out on a mission to learn as much as I could.
As far as like as you've done this, what do you see as far as like some of the biggest constraints that the American farmer and or the Floridian farmer has to contend with as you're listening to different people?
At the moment, it was such a good question that it really it got me thinking, but in the moment I didn't know exactly what to answer him. And I believe that one of the biggest obstacles that farmers face in agriculture, not necessarily the biggest, just an issue that I see from my point, the public opinion, the EPA and these environmental groups, while they have good objectives and they do make a huge difference and they come from a good place, they have a huge influence on communities. I think that they've started this huge movement and that they have got a lot of people thinking about sustainability and the effects of fertilizer in agriculture on nearby bodies of water. But issue has been taken to the political arena when I feel it should stay at a place where there's no need to have an evil and a good. I feel like we should all just be looking for a solution. And I think that if many of these groups really put their efforts with the amount of influence that they have and work with the farmer and not against them, and also the farmer with them and not against them, that I believe that we could have the power to make great advancements and achieve many things and initiatives. And I feel that if they put in that energy into working with the agricultural industry, I think that great things could happen. I think the biggest challenge that we face is that we're too caught up on who's right and who's wrong, and there's always the mentality that, you know, the big sugar is the monster, and that, you know, but when I see it with where I was raised, I see my dad who works every day of the week, and I see a big group of hardworking people that are what make all of these agricultural companies what they are. I don't see, you know, big sugar or, you know, these evil companies, which I'm not saying that all of them are perfect, but what I see is the farmer that goes to work every day to put food on the tables of America. And I see people who are passionate about what they do. I see people who care about the land and appreciate it and do want to work towards sustainability. And I believe that having people from the environmental community who are also experts, and to combine those two powers together, I think would be the ultimate goal. When I started this project, I had a very open mind. I didn't know what I was going to find because, unfortunately, there's this bad stigma around the agricultural community. I wasn't really sure what I was going to find because of everything that I hear, you know, and that's the issue, is that I'm hearing things, but I needed to learn them for myself. To be honest, the findings were kind of shocking. They were talking about different initiatives for the agricultural community. What I found was that in the EAA, the Everglades Agricultural Area, is that they were praising us for the success that we've had, which was shocking to me because sometimes there's an overwhelming negativity that surrounds that area in Lake Okeechobee. But I was pleasantly surprised to find someone admiring what the farmers have accomplished. The responsibility has been more left to the farmer rather than having strict regulations and rules, and I believe that's been tremendously helpful. They were asked to reduce the phosphorus runoff by 25% and have exceeded by more than 50%, and they have been a success story. I believe that they should be given a little more credit. Through this video, I just hope that I could be an open-minded and unbiased advocate of the community where I come from, because I have a lot of love for my community. There should be a group effort to further improve the practices that are in place. And I hope that this also spreads awareness about Lake Okeechobee. As I've
left where I've been raised in more recent times, I have heard many remarks about it looking like a toilet bowl, or how we're flushing the toilet bowl every time we release water. I hope that people see Lake Okeechobee for the special place that it is, and the farmers as the special people that they are. I think that with our efforts to always be better, because we are a country where we want to be better and we want to improve. We want to be environmentally conscious of the decisions that we make, so that we do promote sustainability, and that we know that we can take care of ourselves and the generations to come. While we struggle because we have all these advancements in agriculture that have had an impact on our environment, we have to always think there are developing countries that wish that they had the agricultural improvements that we have to be able to feed their people, because they don't have it. I think that we should be thankful for that, and I think that when we reach that place where we set all other agendas aside and we focus on what's truly important, I think that we can get to a place where we're even better. I just hope that in the future our communities will strive for unity, because that's the only way that we're ever going to get anywhere. Thank you for watching.